Hey everybody, this is Billy at BTUFF. Man, I'm so excited today. We're out here at Lake Nacimiento in California, and that lake is full of water, man. My buddy brought out his G23 Super Nautique 2016. We're gonna be taking a look at this boat. It is an awesome piece, man. We're gonna look at it. We're gonna look at the differences between older boat and newer boats. I'll bring out my older boat later. We can take a look at that, and we'll see if it's worth the price of like a 10-year-old boat versus a newer one. We're gonna get into all that, man. So let's get in it, man. I can't wait to go out there, do some wake surfing, look at the wave, and have a good time out on the lake. So hang on and let's have some fun. Well, the first thing that I notice about this G23 is the size, man. It is mammoth, man. Look at that. It's like walking up to a wall. Now this thing weighs over 6,000 pounds dry. That is incredible. That's more than a car. That's more than my Wakesetter, my 2008 Wakesetter, probably with the trailer. That is incredible. So why is that important? Well, it's displacement, man. You're pushing a bigger brick through the water. That makes the waves bigger. It makes the wakes bigger. It makes you be able to ride on a wave further back in the boat. It makes everything better. So we're gonna get in there, man. I can't wait to see this thing in action. It's gonna be a fun time on the Super Nautique.
I don't wanna one night stand. I'm in no fashion, young man. Never thought I'd turn her down. Swear I'm caught in a cyclone. Sweeping breezes on my phone. Seeking love in a ghost town. But I see the way you turn and looking at me. You rise a corner like a taxi. I want more than just a ride. Sun, will you lay with me when the night is done? Will you stay with me when the sun bursts sun? Will you show with me when the moonlight's gone? Will you wake with me?
Watch how far Nicole can drift back on this wave. Man, that's where the G23, all these new heavy boats, that's where they shine. Heavier boats in the water create more push deeper in the wave, right? On an older boat, man, that's no man's land. She's able to get that thrust and go right back to the sweet spot.
But I swear, the way you're doing up your lashes, you got me lit up like some magic. Wanna wipe you up right now. And the rising sun, will you lay with me? When the night is done, will you stay with me? When the sun bursts sun, will you show me?
All right, let's take a look at the sound system that comes with the Super Nautique. Very clean, as you can see here, and JL audio, obviously really nice stuff, and the stereo sounds really good. I mean, of course, there are going to be some people that still want more, but for the most part, for most people, this is going to be definitely enough stereo, and so that's one upgrade you're not going to have to do when you get a newer boat. That's one less thing you have to worry about. I like this too, real quick, since I'm in here. They got a trash can system. You just open that up, throws it in here. I mean, it sounds easy, right? I mean, you're like, it seems like a no-brainer, but it really is nice to get the trash off the boat by having a, you can kind of see it's in a, just like a little door. You open the door, you throw your trash out, you're out of sight, out of mind. One thing too, since we're in here, look how much room is in here from here to here. It's huge, man. Like we were talking about before, these boats are very tall now. The new boats, they're really tall. And that just allows that much more storage inside your boat, man. So, I mean, you could throw boards in here. You can't really do that. You can, but it's harder on a, let's say like a 2008, which we'll look at later. So you can store, like I said, you could store all your boards in here. I mean, you could sleep in here if you wanted to, man, to be honest with you. So a lot of storage inside these new style boats. Okay, I'm going to show you guys something very cool, whether you have an older boat, any boat actually, or a newer boat. Now the newer boats come with a wristband that you can wear when you ride. It allows you to go left side, right side on the wave, and you can control the stereo. The problem is they're not really refined like an Apple Watch is. A lot of technology in an Apple Watch. So you can actually, if you have a Bluetooth on your stereo, no matter where you're at, you're going to be able to control it behind the boat with an Apple Watch, right? So you actually connect your phone, your Bluetooth phone, to your stereo, right? That stays in the boat. And then now you will connect their Apple Watch, to the to the phone, you connect it to the phone, and now you can control everything behind there. You can put your favorite song on, you can do all that. Let me see if I can get this here. So here you can see right here, right? So you can see the stereo. If I want to go to the next song, I just hit this. See, it's going to go to the next song. I can control the, I can control the volume. See that? So you're riding behind the boat, you can control how loud you want it to be. You don't like the song, you can go to the next song. You can have your playlist. You can have all that stuff. So it's pretty cool being behind the boat and being able to control it with an Apple Watch. All right, so we're gonna ask John here. He's the owner of this boat, man. How long have you had this boat now?
I've had about 8 months.
8 months, man. Now you've had everything. You were a Mastercraft guy.
Yep.
And you've had everything from the used boats or like an older style boat. And this is probably a newer one, right? As far as anything you bought before.
The last boat I had was 2 years old as
okay.
well. But you know, that was 10 plus years ago. So
right. So what are the plus and minuses, man? Like you've had this thing. Like what's the pros of having something like this that you think like, okay, because it was a lot of money, right? I mean, it's like there's even for you, you're like.
The thing that I like the most about it is really the layout, the fact that it is really nice and plush in here. There's room for everything that people need. You know, I don't have to worry about somebody bringing on an extra board or an extra bag or whatever. It's like there's so much storage. The way the seats are all laid out, it's really comfortable, and everything's, you know, sort of at a push of a button. There's, you know, a little place for the trash. There's little conveniences that make it really nice. You know?
Super engineered.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's like.
And the big thing for me is I like being able to just hit a couple buttons, and the wake is dialed in the way I like it. It's not. I don't have to set up a bunch of ballast.
And you're not buying extra surf gates and all that stuff.
You can do that stuff to try to enhance it a little bit, but
you don't have to.
Like you saw today. I mean, it's a good wake right out of the box.
Now, people didn't see. We did a lot of testing this weekend on trying to use things that I may use on an older boat, like a 2008 Wakesetter, to get a good wave. It doesn't necessarily work on this boat, right? Yeah. And in fact, I mean, they kind of engineer them to like just leave them alone, man. We didn't, you know, we built them like this, like to work good out of the box, not for you to start adding stuff to it, right? Because the thing is, you dip down the boat further than it's supposed to do. Well, now the surf gate's up higher than it's supposed to be, or it's lower, or whatever.
It's not really functioning.
It's not functioning like it's supposed to. So after we did a lot of testing, really, I mean, today we went out today. I think probably had some of the best stuff, right? And what did we end up with?
Great.
What was the formula?
We just did factory ballast. We were going 11 miles an hour. We had the NSS system, which is the Nautique surf system, set to 0, which is basically it's not engaged. And then they call it the NCRS, the plate in the back. We had that set to 3.
Wow. Yeah, I know a lot of people won't understand what that is.
Yeah,
but
it's a scale from 0, not engaged, to 5,
right.
all the way engaged.
And on the back of the boat, what that is there's flaps on the back of the boat and on the side of the boat, right?
Yeah, this one's just on the back.
Yeah, just on the back, right? And it kind of like it pushes the boat in the water more or skews it in the water more and all that stuff. So so at the end of the day, because those are the pros, man, I get it. What are the cons if you had to say?
Price is a big con. I think that's the one everyone's, you know, thinking of. You know, and
it's hard for people to understand that aren't into the lake situation, like a 6-figure boat, right? And even like $100,000 boat now is like on the new boats is like not. That's like me in middle pack, man.
Oh yeah, if you can get a new boat for $100,000, that's a good deal.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they go all the way up to $225,000 now, right? I mean, some of the
retail on this boat now is, you know, $160, $170.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, you put how much down? I mean, you put like, I don't know, you'd have to put like you put like 30,000 down. They'll get you on some 15-year plan, right?
Oh, I think even more, like 20.
Yeah, 20-year plans, man. So that's the downside. Anything else that you can think of that, you know? Your truck thing, right? You had to get a bigger truck.
Yeah, I had to get a bigger truck. The weight is definitely an issue.
And this all started, I mean, we've gone back and forth with boats, but you actually went out with me again, and I showed you wake surfing, and you're like...
Yeah, I'm like, I got to get back out.
You got to get back in it, right? So you were back in it, well, of course, with a newer one, you know, and by the time you were all done, you were almost at... Didn't want to count it, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, anything else that you can think of that you think it's, I mean, for what you paid, it's kind of...
you know, it's not a con, but I would, you know, I think there's still improvements to be made. There's definitely areas where you're like, you know, I'd love to have a bigger wake, longer wake. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that's true of any
fuel mileage.
You know, we went a good part of today. We did half day today, kind of full day yesterday.
How much to fill this thing up, if you had to guess?
It's at 50% now. It's a 65-gallon tank.
Okay.
So $4 a gallon times 65.
Yeah.
200 plus bucks.
Boop.
Fill it up.
Yeah. And we used half a tank in about a day and a half.
Yeah.
So about 150, 125 bucks on the day, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe for a wake for you're going to use on a weekend on a big boat.
Yeah.
Now, a big boat is going to use more fuel than like an older boat that aren't quite as big, right? Because like we said, these are 6,000 pounds, dude,
Yeah.
right? And so like 2,000 pounds heavier than a Wakesetter. So
Yeah.
anyway, one of the perks for a new boat is the sea deck or gator step flooring, right? Real clean looking. You can see here, cleans up super easy, feels good on your feet, doesn't get hot. Carpet gets dirty, and eventually you have to change out carpet. There's no way around it. It gets grimy. It's hard to keep clean. I mean, nobody wants carpet right now, right? Nobody wants carpet in their homes, and nobody wants carpet in their boats. So that's one of the perks for having a new boat is it's going to come with a sea deck flooring. And if you do screw up one section of it, let's say something gets damaged like this section right here, it's very easy to repair rather than having to pull up the whole carpet and change it. And you can do it yourself. You don't have to take it to anybody else and have it done. And they usually have these on file. So if you called up, let's say for this boat, a Super Nautique dealer and say, hey, I need this section, that you'd be able to get it. So that's one of the perks, man, that people with older boats are envious of people with newer boats, that they have really cool flooring. And it actually, as we looked at in here, it's pretty cool because it actually transfers into the hulls and all that stuff, man. So super clean and super cool. All right, man, I'll tell you what, on these new boats, they've really got some nice power plants in it. Here they have a 450 horsepower PCM marine engine H6. This is injected, and this thing is a work of art. Look at this thing, man. Crazy. Now, of course, these motors have a lot of torque to them. They've got a 5-year warranty from the manufacturer. But you know what? You take care of a motor on a lake, man. You change the oil like you're supposed to, run a good synthetic. They last forever, man. They really do. But, man, check this out. Isn't that nice? I like how clean it is. It doesn't smell like oil. You know, you're not... The exhaust on it is really nice. You get behind there, you can't smell any exhaust. That's really cool. And they're all California emissions legal now. So... that's one of the perks of having a new boat, man. No exhaust smell in the back and a big power plant to have fun with. Every year, the boat manufacturers innovate just a little bit more. So here you can see a sophisticated seat system that has the bench seat that you'd normally see, you know, on an older boat. But this actually slides forward and the back comes up, and now you can sit reverse looking at the people ride, right? Of course, here you got another system where you could kind of sit back and, you know, watch people ride. So like I said, every year, especially now, man, they really overthink these boats for seating and different directions that you can sit, where that wasn't really there like 10 years ago. So that's one of the new perks on a newer boat.
Would you give me all you got to give back? Would you break my fall? Cause you got me trippin', laces, gon' place it, see him face it, doing things I never do at all. To let you to break my fall. Be on me just one night, be on me, it's alright. Be on me just for now, be on me anyhow. Be on me just one night, be on me, it's alright. Be on me just for now, be on me anyhow. And I'll be the first to tell you that you saved me from myself. Cause I was a mess without you. Now you got me going out. Gon' place it, see him face it, doing things I never do at all. To let you to break my fall. Be on me just one night. Be on me, it's alright. Be on me just for now. Be on me anyhow. Be on me just one night. Be on me, it's alright. Trippin', laces, gon' place it, see him face it, doing things I never do at all. To let you to break my fall. Be on